Hello, and welcome to another episode of Hotel Room Yap with Michaela. Ooh, featuring Mr. Chicken. You're so cute. You're so cute. Do you have words to say to the public? Anything else? Anything else? He's a chicken. Mwah. We just got back from dinner, and this lovely oh my goodness, this lovely hotel corner is brought to you by the Westin in Cleveland downtown. Very exciting. It's just a short little hop, skip, and a jump down the street from the convention center. We went and had some yummy steak tonight. Met up with some friends who work for Dominic Glover, which was kind of fun and unexpected. It was so cold. There was so much wind. I need to derobe. Hey, Mr. Chicken, I gotta take some layers off. I have to take some layers off. Can you go sit here? You guys get an insight to what I have to deal with. Okay, wait, sit here for a second. Okay, you sit here. Stay. Yes, stay. Okay. This hat, by the way, I love. It's very fluffy and cute. It is my grandmother's. She, I think, was either going to give it away or it was like in the closet downstairs, and she was like, oh yes, this is so cute. I'm like, I want this hat. It's an amazing hat. I love this hat. Anyway, let me derobe and get the book. I'll be right back. And book. And dog. You wanna come up? Oh, his leg is stuck in his sweater. Hold on. Oh, your little scruff is so cute. You're very cute. You done? You done with me? He's over. All right. Hey, what's up, y'all? So yeah, this lovely corner brought to you by the Westin. Maddox, do you want the sweater off? Buddy, what's up? What's up? Do you want the sweater off? This episode of Hotel Room Yap features me and Maddox in a sweater. We get a chicken. We get a free chicken. He's got the zoomies all of a sudden. Oh my gosh. Oh. Are you having a zoomy episode? Are you having a zoomy puppy episode? This dog. Oh my gosh. I love you, you little goob. Your butt is literally on that pillow. He's special. I do clean him. When we go on walks and we come back in, I cannot be chill. I like to wipe his feet off and wipe his more private regions as well, just so that they're clean. Because I think it's crazy when people are just like, oh yeah, dogs, poop, pee, get dirt on their paws, and then just release them back into the house, into the living room, into the bedroom. Crazy talk. This is the fit for today. We decided to do platform boots. Very exciting. La la la. My pants look very short right now because I have my knees bent, but this goes a little bit down on my hips, and then the pants go down here. I promise. I should probably take my shoes off. What am I, a heathen? I didn't put the bottoms of my shoes onto the couch though, on purpose. Not that makes it any better for some of y'all. Y'all still might hate me. Ah. Okay. And now Maddox is drinking water as if he's never had a drop of water in his life. This dog, I swear. I didn't really start this episode with a plan. That might have been a good idea. I think I got distracted by the dog. I had a couple of ideas, and then, when the dog is dogging, it's like having a child. Your train of thought is just gone. You're like, oh, I've been distracted by a creature. There been a lot of things on my mind. There's a lot to pick from. I guess something that has been popping up a lot in conversation and online and in the world is, I guess, victim mentality, and kind of where's the fine line between, people being racist or sexist or bigoted or, that sort of thing. And, when generational wealth and that sort of thing play into it, absolutely. Where's the line between that absolutely being a contributing factor? Addiction, abuse, etc., and then you staying in victim mentality. Where is that line? Especially in a lot of, interesting political debates as of late. where conservatives who come from minority backgrounds or groups of people who have often been overlooked or marginalized kind of thing, and they're kind of going and having these talks on college campuses or putting together focus groups, and they're like, okay, so how, do you feel oppressed right now? Like, aren't you at the same university with your peers? And so doesn't that mean that you've achieved the same status, basically, and got there by working hard and by studying and by writing a good essay and sending in a great application, etc., etc., etc. But yeah, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough because just because you're a minority does not mean you're a good person, and it doesn't mean that you have a good work ethic. Not that everybody needs to prove their worth by having work ethic. No. Human rights versus, I guess, shooting for the stars are two different things, and I think that they can get mixed together or attached, and there's so much pressure that in order to almost deem yourself worthy of just human rights, sometimes people feel the need to shoot for the stars, and in some cases that is necessary, and it shouldn't be necessary. Just being a human being in this country, you should just feel safe and protected, regardless of where you are, what you're doing. If you need something from a hospital and you need some health care, if you need some counseling, these things shouldn't be only for an elite sliver of people. Even now, you can have a steady 6-figure job and health insurance is still maybe, but you also might get charged 20 grand for a minor surgery if your doctors aren't technically in network but the hospital is, or just random crap like that. So anyway, I guess that I've just been grappling with where the line is. At what point do you have to be like, all right, this was the hand that I was dealt. I'm gonna take what I can from it, and I'm gonna frickin' play the game, and I'm gonna make my hand better, and I'm gonna be frickin' awesome at it. I think excuses can get dangerous. We all do it to ourselves for different reasons, and there's varying levels of intensity and seriousness to these excuses, right? Sometimes it's not that big of a deal, I'm gonna organize the garage, whatever, and it ends up not happening because you end up I'm tired, or I said I was gonna watch the movie with the kids, or I said it's a friend's birthday this weekend and I gotta go get a present and I just don't really feel like it, whatever, so then the garage doesn't get cleaned as quickly as you'd want it to. But then when they start accruing to the point of affecting your life, affecting your purpose, affecting your progress, that's where things get tricky. And it's tricky to tell somebody who's comfortable or has never really stepped out of the zone of just victim mentality of, oh, well, I can't do that because this, and then this got in the way of me doing that, and well, I was only allowed to blah. You are in charge of you. You are in charge of your perspective. You are in charge of how you react to something. You are in charge of how you treat others. You are in charge of how you represent yourself to you. Now, we can't control what everyone else does. Absolutely. There's still going to be people who are so inappropriate, who are judgmental, who are racist. It's going to happen, but that's also not an American thing. I'm just going to throw that in there. It is very normal to go to any other country where there's absolutely racism and judgment happening based off of all sorts of things. So it's interesting that we think, oh, it's this American thing that we have to fix. We do need to fix it, but it's other countries also have this, and some of them way worse than we do. They will actively not hire you, not even talk to you sometimes, and I'm not saying that that's right. I'm just saying we are attempting as a nation to be better about it, and this is a good thing. But yeah, there are going to be some people, of course, that you run into, and it's not going to go well. But you're going to allow one thing, a few things, even a few years of things. Maybe you have to keep working through it. But there are great people in the world, and there is space for you. So You can stay comfortable in your little land of excuses, in your little victim mentality, and live there, and that's fine. And lots of people do. But I think you're better than that. And I don't know, this turned into some weird, like, kind of inspirational speech thing, and that's not the point. The point is that people are very capable. We have seen incredible stories and journeys of people's arcs, and a lot of them are not fun for many parts of the arc. There's a lot of persistence, there's a lot of pushback, but when you know what you're capable of and you know what you're working towards, that's a big thing too. You just keep going. There's no other question. I mean, there's a strange irony and unfortunate circumstance, but there's also, a reason why a lot of artists aren't popular till after they've passed, because the people aren't getting it. And that's okay to an extent, unless they start to be completely rude and terrible to you. But if people don't get it, you get it. You see what you're trying to do. And so just do it. Okay, you didn't get into the program you thought you wanted to get into, or the college, or you went in to interview for this one thing and they laughed at you, or you asked for an opportunity to XYZ and you never got a response. Keep going. Keep going. I think the people who are successful or who have like a cool personality and everything seems easy for them have maintained that aura by choice and or by needing to go with the flow, because there are so many uncertainties. I know so many very talented, cool people. Just, it's constant work in acting music land anyway. It doesn't matter what they've done. It doesn't matter who they've written for or sung for, written for. Sorry if I just repeated. Where they've performed, whatever. They still have to kind of prove themselves. And I think that's why people get so burnt out, is we're so tired of proving our existence, basically. Proving the worth of our existence. And especially for minorities, whether you don't fully speak the language of everyone around you, maybe you're a different color than the people around you, that can get tricky because you're like, I feel this need to prove, but there is no need to prove. You have the worth already. You just need to accept that perspective, and then everyone else's opinion of you can't sway you because they're just incorrect. And you're like, oh, well, that sounds easy because you haven't had this, this, and this. Okay. Or maybe I have, and we just gotta keep rolling with it. I'm not at all saying that my experiences are of the same violence, intensity, etc. I'm just saying everybody's got their own crap. Absolutely. Some amount of crap is definitely way more, way intense, and, unfortunate to deal with. But do you want to stay there, or do you want to freaking get out of it? I would want to freaking get out of it. I did want to freaking get out of it. And we're working on it. We're not done yet. We're still going. We're still freaking getting out of it. So, yeah. It's just been interesting seeing some of these videos talking about letting the victim perspective kind of run your narrative. If your parents were both addicts and you're super low income and let's say you're a family of color, and maybe you have a disability. Okay. It's a lot. That's a pretty intense hand you've been dealt, right? Okay, so you can either just sit there with that hand and just be like, yeah, this is my life. Or you can think about your dreams and your passions and the things that excite you, and when you have an idea and you're like, whoa, that'd be kind of cool, hold on to that. Do it. But it will mean you'll have to let go of that hand you were dealt. You're gonna have to trade in cards along the way to get the better hand. Are you ready for that? Most people aren't. That is, I think, the hard part of then getting a new hand or a fresh, I don't know, a worked for hand, maybe not a new hand, for playing the game, is you have to get rid of some cards. And a lot of people are not ready to get rid of those cards, because that means potentially, cutting off contact with some of your family members. Maybe that means moving to a different city. Maybe that means I don't know, deciding to work in a field that you don't love, but you know is going to get you to somewhere that you want to be for that next step you need to take. And so you're just willing to do the annoying hours or to drive the 45 minutes to get there or whatever. Those are hard choices to make. Because then the alternative is, well, or I could just hold on to this hand of cards that I have right here. That feels comfortable. And then I can just complain about it because, well, these are my cards, so it's what it is. It's what life is. Yeah, and I've been on both sides.
Hi, do you want to play?
Maddox is like, guys, you're taking this way too seriously. We need to have some fun.
Oh yeah? You want to have some fun? Look at the camera. Oh. Well, come get your dog. Come get your dog. Come get your dog.
I was trying to get you to catch his little mouth noises. Woof, woof, woof. Woof, woof, woof. Sometimes I like to hold it and taunt him a little bit. And then sometimes I throw it. And then other times I don't. He's fast. And then sometimes I like to just attack him and just go right in there. Right in there, right in there. Go get it, go get it, go get it. He's so cute right now.
Wait. Come here, buddy. Come here. Here, babies. Come here. Here, let's tell the people goodbye. Because we've had a good yap session. Can you come sit here for a second? Hi. There you go. There you go. Good boy.
So, yes, I have been on both ends. I've been like, oh, well, these are my cards, so how am I supposed to blah? And I've also been like, let's freaking trade out the cards. From the outside, if you're like, well, you were given a pretty great hand of cards, yeah, there have been some cards in there that are definitely more privileged. I'm a Caucasian, woman in the States. I am able-bodied. Everything, limb-wise works. We'll see how the eyesight goes when I get older, but for now, we can see with corrective eyewear. I'm very grateful for these things. And my mom loves me very, very much. You left me.
You left me. What are you doing?
Maddox, come here, buddy. Come here.
Come sit. Come sit, baby.
My mom loves me a lot, which I'm very, very grateful for, and we have a good relationship. And so these are very awesome things. But I was also a surprise with some other complications. My father was not in the picture. My mom and I moved to LA when I was like 4, with not enough money to do so, by the way. We just put everything in the U-Haul, brought what we had, got a place that was too expensive, and that kind of turned into a little bit of a dramatic moment for a second. But we did not have money growing up. The fact that people went on like family vacations, I was like, what? You go on a family vacation multiple times a year? That's crazy. Lots of just regifting and making food at home and like home arts and crafts project, which is great. These are all great things, but it was very tight. There was a lot of focus on money, and it's definitely affected how I like grew up. And I've gotten better at this, but I was always so worried about what was on the bill, how much something cost, down to the dollar. Anytime it was there's a free this, or this is $5 off, or whatever, I would just be so focused on the money that like it sometimes was just hard to live. And I think a lot of people can relate to that right now in just the economic state of the world. So everybody's just got their stuff, there's some religious trauma in here too. There's all sorts of little things that are that are tricky. So yes, there are some things in my hand that are absolutely helpful, and then there are some things that are icky. Oh my goodness. And hard for me to deal with still. Yes, you need attention. I know, my child needs attention. All this to say, you are great. The hand that you were dealt is no reflection of what you are capable of. You can become, love anything that you want. And so I guess my little soapbox moment is just fall in love with things. Try to fall in love with life a little bit more. There's always going to be something to criticize, judge, be scared of. No one said life was all just easy and sunshine. Yeah, even growing up, I knew that, but you can also find things that are beautiful and lovely and creative and inspiring. And it's a choice. And no, you are not downplaying the bad things by choosing to also find the good things and focus on those. We don't shut out the bad, we just also remember that there's lots of good along the way. I sat down not really knowing what I was going to talk about, and then like 3 or 4 videos popped up in the last like day talking about like getting stuck in kind of this like victim mentality. So yeah, there we go. I kind of agree with that. I think people are incredibly capable if they allow themselves to be. That's that. And speaking of excuses of me saying I was gonna finish this book by like, episode 4, I think? I don't even know what number we're on, but it definitely is way past 4. So, let's see what the book gives us today. What do you say, Mr. Maddox? Let's see. Okay. I'm trying to figure out if I've read this one before. Maybe not. Okay, so a lot of self-awareness on the left page, but on the right page where I looked first. All right, this was the first thing that I saw. As artists, which we all are, by the way, we are on a continual quest to get closer to the universe by getting closer to self. I think that's true. Moving ever nearer to the point where we can no longer tell where one begins and the other ends. We are on a distant metaphysical journey from the here to the now. Okay, one more time for all of y'all. As artists, we are on a continual quest to get closer to the universe by getting closer to self, moving ever nearer to the point where we can no longer tell where one begins and the other ends. We are on a distant metaphysical journey from the here to the now. So take from that what you will, whether it is in regard to victim mentality or just life in general. Bada boom, bada bing, from The Creative Act Way of Being by Rick Rubin. If you're new here, and this is the first episode you're seeing, which if it is, hello, welcome. I'm like a quarter of the way through this book. I don't know why it is so hard for me. Did anyone else like read a lot as a kid and then it just like the joy got sucked out of it when you had to read so much for school? I used to blaze through books. Blaze! I'd be done with this in like a couple hours. And now as an adult, my the phones don't help, but the attention span is so short, and I just like have this like resistance when I sit down with a book. It used to be like, yay, a book, and now it's like, oh, a book. And it's better because before, like a few years ago, it was like, ugh, a book, and now I'm like, oh, a book. You know, I'm more neutral now, but like I used to love reading. School killed it for me when I was forced to read a bunch of stuff I didn't actually want to read. School, interesting time. Are you just sleeping? Is this man just passed out on my leg right now? He's a little chicken roast. He's a chicken roast. I'm gonna put you on the stove and roast you. I'm gonna just roast you like a little chicken leg in the morning. Chicken head, chicken roast. I promise I'm not gonna eat him. Thank you guys for joining, per usual. Hopefully you found some of this helpful, reflective, interesting. Maybe you hated it. Who knows? I want people to fulfill their purpose and be happy and just push past all the crap that other people in the world try to put on you and keep you in this little cage, in this little box. It's like just live your best life, all right? As long as we're not hurting anyone, okay? Let's not excuse being a terrible person by, you know, relying on other things, which also happens sometimes, but just be who you want. Pursue the things you want. I promise you, no matter what you are dealing with, you can absolutely make your way through it and become who you want to be, what you want to be. It might not be the way you think, though. You gotta be willing to trade out those cards, okay? Pinky promise? We'll trade out the cards together. We're playing the game. We're moving some cards around. We're getting a new hand. A hand of cards that we like. Yeah? Alright, guys. I'm gonna take this sploot and maybe play with him for a few more minutes. Unless he's just out. Maybe he just splooted on me for the whole night. Alright, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Mr. Chicken! Mr. Chicken!
Okay. Wanna keep going? Bye, guys.